this week's episode, Ayelet shows us the PR secrets of launching a successful startup. Welcome to our new web series. I'm Joel from Depulse, and we're the simplest project management tool out there. And because thousands of our users are booming startups, what I thought I'd do is I'd go around and interview industry leaders in the startup world and get really valuable, actionable information and tips about launching startups, growing startups, and everything in between. I'm here with the gorgeous Ayelet Noff from Blond 2.0. She's the founder and CEO. It's a international award-winning PR agency across 2 continents. All right, so I think a good question to ask now is, what do you actually do for startups?
There's something called the PESO model, which I'm not sure if you're familiar with. The PESO model is it stands for paid, earned, shared, and owned. Okay, so in order to succeed, every startup needs to have these 4 elements. The paid element is all the paid stuff that a startup needs to do. That's advertising, everything that you pay for.
Yeah.
Okay, earned media is PRs, public relations, is the articles that you get. When you get an article on TechCrunch, for example, that's not something you can pay for. That's something that you earn because, you know, your startup has earned credibility and the writer thought that it was worthy of a post.
Okay.
Because that's probably the purest form of advertising or marketing, if you will.
All right.
Then there's owned media, which is your blog, podcast, everything that's owned by the startup. And then there's shared, which is, Facebook, Twitter, all of your shared elements. In order to succeed, a startup really needs to have all these 4 elements together.
Can you give me one example of when you took a really, really bad situation with a really bad image and turned it into something brilliant?
Well, I don't think it's something, it was a bad situation.
Okay.
I think we were just starting out. A lot of these companies that I work with, they're starting out from scratch. Nobody knows the brand. That's the problem.
I guess no image is worse than a negative image.
No, it's not worse. It's better.
Okay, all right.
It's probably better. I've been in that situation too. But, no image means basically blank slate that you can start from zero and build whatever positioning you want. So a great example is Yo, which a lot of people know today.
Sure.
So when we started with Yo, nobody knew who it was, what it was. And we actually brought Robert Scoble to Israel. Okay. And we showed him the app. And Scoble looked at the app and he wrote on Facebook, he wrote a status that said, "This is the stupidest app I've ever seen, but the most addictive."
Okay, awesome.
And soon enough, he sent it. He put it on Facebook. It was shown to 600,000 followers of his on Facebook, and then one of his followers uploaded it to Product Hunt.
Wow! Got
tons of upvotes. And then a reporter called Tim Bradshaw from the Financial Times saw it and wrote about it.
Wow!
And then because the Financial Times is not it's paywalled, so not a lot of people see it. But one of those people who saw it was Paul Sawyers from the Next Web, who then wrote an article about it. Then we sent out an official press release to everyone, and it just went wild, like wildfire.
And this is basically overnight, essentially.
This is basically overnight. And the thing with Yo, which I think really created that sizzle, was the debate that we created between the people who thought it was the stupidest app they've ever seen in their life to the people who thought it was the most genius communication tool they've ever seen.
That's brilliant on your part.
And that debate is what caused the noise, because whether you hated it or you loved it, you had to say something about it.
What discussion should I be having with the PR agency to know that we're a fit, to know that this is the agency for me?
So talk to references. Go take a look at their Facebook page. Take a look at, what coverage they usually get. Like, for example, you can go and see who their portfolio is, and then do a search on every one of those companies and see how many search results you see. How many articles do you see on the web that have been written about these companies in the last few weeks or the last few months?
That's good.
Because, at the end of the day, it's all about, how much coverage can you get for these companies. I think it's also important to take a look at who the people are behind the firm. Who are you going to be working with? Are you going to be working with, the CEO, which is what happens here at Blond to Zero,
Okay.
or are you going to be working with some, junior account manager who has no idea what to do?
Yeah.
So it's always really important to ask who you're going to be working with on a day-to-day basis.
So what do I need to succeed? I'm launching my product now. I'm launching my startup now. What are the things I need?
Okay, so first of all, the first thing you need is obviously a good product. Okay. If your product is good and you see that people relate to it, always ask yourself, is this something that I would actually use? Okay. And if your product is good, that's the first step. The second step is obviously getting good people around you to spread it to the right circles. If you have a great PR agency that has all the connections to Silicon Valley influencers, to European influencers, not necessarily we're focusing on Silicon Valley, but there's a lot of influencers also outside of Silicon Valley. So make sure to hire someone who has all those connections to spread your product to the right places. If you have those two things in place, I think that you can really, really
have a good product that you yourself believe in, and not a mediocre product. So 1, have a good product, and 2, have someone to put it in the right channels for you.
Right.
Have someone to put it out there.
Exactly.
Really cool.
Good
Stuff. All right. I think we're good. I think we can drink more.
Yeah.
Anyone think of a better ending? Anyone?
No, now they're going to put the jazz music.